Hello there, I'm Dr. Sarah Parker, and I've spent the past 25 years specializing in geriatric wellness. Throughout my career, I've helped thousands of seniors just like you maintain their vitality and independence as they navigate their retirement years. We've all heard it countless times, walking is supposedly the perfect exercise for seniors. It's simple, free, and accessible. But what if I told you that for many adults over 70, relying solely on walking might not be delivering the benefits you think? In fact, it could potentially be limiting your mobility and overall health in ways you never imagined. If you're finding this information valuable so far, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to our channel for more evidence-based health advice for seniors. Your support helps us reach more people who could benefit from this crucial information. I know this might sound counterintuitive at first. After all, walking has been the go-to recommendation for decades. But emerging research and my own clinical experience have shown that excessive walking without the right complementary activities could actually be diminishing your strength, compromising your balance, and potentially accelerating certain aspects of the aging process instead of slowing them down. This doesn't mean walking is bad, far from it. But there's a much more effective approach to maintaining your vitality after 70 that few healthcare providers are discussing. And today, I'm going to share exactly what you need to know to protect your body while staying active and independent for years to come. Let me introduce you to Margaret, a vibrant 76-year-old former schoolteacher. When Margaret retired at 70, she was determined to stay healthy and active. Following conventional wisdom, she committed to walking 3 miles every single day, rain or shine. For the first year, Margaret felt great. She enjoyed the fresh air and the routine. But gradually, something began to change. Instead of feeling energized after her walks, she noticed increasing fatigue that would last throughout the day. The mild discomfort in her knees became persistent pain. Her lower back started aching regularly, and most concerning of all, she began to feel unsteady on her feet despite all the walking she was doing. Margaret assumed these changes were simply inevitable signs of aging. However, during her annual checkup, I noticed significant changes in her posture, muscle tone, and gait pattern. What Margaret didn't realize was that her well-intentioned walking routine was actually creating imbalances in her body that were accelerating certain aspects of aging rather than preventing them. This scenario isn't unusual. In my practice, I see countless patients like Margaret who are doing everything they think is right, yet experiencing disappointing results. The good news is that with some strategic adjustments to how you stay active, you can experience dramatically better outcomes. Let's explore why excessive walking alone might not be the best strategy for maintaining optimal health after 70, and more importantly, what you can do instead. 3 reasons walking alone isn't enough after 70. Reason 1, muscle imbalance and atrophy. Many people don't realize that walking primarily engages the same muscle groups repeatedly while leaving others virtually untouched. After 70, our bodies become much more susceptible to muscle imbalances and accelerated muscle loss, a condition known as sarcopenia. When you walk consistently without incorporating other forms of movement, certain muscles, particularly those in your hips, core, and upper body, can weaken significantly. Think of your muscular system like a team where every player has an important role. Walking only trains a few team members while leaving the rest on the bench. This creates a domino effect. As some muscles weaken, others compensate by working harder than they should. Over time, these compensations lead to poor alignment, inefficient movement patterns, and eventually pain. Your body needs balanced strength to function optimally. What's particularly concerning is that after 70, we naturally lose between 1 to 2% of our muscle mass annually unless we actively work to preserve it. Walking alone simply doesn't provide the necessary stimulus to maintain overall muscle mass, particularly in your upper body and core. The weakening of these critical stabilizing muscles leaves your joints vulnerable to excessive wear and tear. When your core and hip muscles can't properly support your spine and pelvis, each step places additional stress on your knee and ankle joints. This is why many seniors who walk extensively often develop knee, hip, or lower back pain despite their consistent exercise. Even worse, this muscle imbalance affects your posture, leading to a forward-leaning stance that further stresses your spine and can contribute to the rounded shoulder appearance that's often associated with aging. This posture isn't inevitable, it's often the result of muscle imbalances that could be prevented with the right approach to exercise. Reason 2, limited balance development. Balance is absolutely crucial for maintaining independence as we age, yet walking on flat, predictable surfaces does relatively little to challenge and improve your balance systems. Your body maintains balance through a complex interplay of your visual system, inner ear, vestibular system, and proprioception, your body's awareness of its position in space. Walking on level surfaces primarily trains forward movement but doesn't adequately challenge your ability to stabilize in different directions or on varied surfaces. After 70, these balance systems naturally become less responsive unless continually challenged in diverse ways. Without specific balance training, your reaction time slows, making you more vulnerable to falls, which, as you likely know, are one of the leading causes of injury and loss of independence among seniors. What's often overlooked is that good balance requires not just the ability to stay upright while standing still, but also dynamic stability, the capacity to maintain control during movement, especially when making transitions like standing up, turning, or responding to unexpected obstacles. Walking alone simply doesn't challenge these critical aspects of balance in meaningful ways. This is why many seniors who walk regularly are surprised to find themselves feeling unsteady when navigating uneven terrain or recovering from a momentary loss of balance. Their exercise routine hasn't prepared their bodies for these real-world challenges that are essential for maintaining independence. Reason 3. Inadequate bone stimulation. Perhaps the most concerning limitation of walking alone is its minimal impact on bone density. After 70, maintaining strong bones becomes critically important, particularly for women who may have already experienced significant bone density loss due to hormonal changes. Walking does provide some bone-stimulating benefits, but primarily only to your lower limbs and not at the intensity needed to optimally maintain bone density. For bones to strengthen or even just maintain their current density, they need to experience varied forces from different angles, something that the repetitive, forward-only motion of walking simply doesn't provide. Research has shown that optimal bone health requires both weight-bearing activity and resistance training that places controlled stress on the bones. Without this stimulus, bone loss accelerates, increasing the risk of fractures even from relatively minor falls or movements. What's particularly troubling is that the areas most vulnerable to osteoporotic fractures, the hips, spine, and wrists, receive minimal beneficial stress from walking. This explains why some seniors who walk regularly still experience significant bone density decline and remain at high risk for serious fractures. The consequences of inadequate bone stimulation can be severe and long-lasting. A hip fracture after 70 can reduce life expectancy and dramatically impact quality of life. This makes it absolutely essential to incorporate exercises that more effectively support bone health than walking alone. If you're finding this information helpful, please take a moment to give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit. Together we can help more seniors understand how to truly protect their health and independence. 3 essential changes for better results. Now that we understand why walking alone might not be providing all the benefits you need, let's explore the 3 key changes that can transform your approach to staying active after 70. These strategies have helped hundreds of my patients regain strength, improve balance, and maintain their independence well into their 80s and beyond. Change 1. Incorporate multidirectional movement. Instead of focusing solely on forward walking, it's essential to move your body in multiple directions regularly. This comprehensive approach trains a wider range of muscles and challenges your balance systems more effectively. Sidestepping, backward walking in a safe environment, gentle pivoting, and diagonal movements are all valuable additions to your movement routine. These varied movements engage different muscle groups, improve coordination, and enhance your body's ability to react quickly to unexpected challenges, a crucial skill for preventing falls. Start small with simple side steps while holding onto a stable surface if needed. As your confidence grows, try short backward walking sessions in a clear, obstacle-free area. Even adding diagonal reaching patterns while seated can help train your body to move more comfortably in different directions. The benefits of multi-directional movement extend beyond physical improvements. These varied movements also stimulate different areas of your brain, potentially supporting cognitive health as well. The mind-body connection becomes increasingly important as we age, and challenging your coordination and spatial awareness through varied movements provides valuable neurological stimulation. For an easy way to incorporate multi-directional movement, try what I call the clock exercise. Standing in place with something stable nearby for support if needed. Imagine you're standing in the center of a clock. Take small steps toward different hours on the clock, forward to 12 o'clock, diagonally to 2 o'clock, sideways to 3 o'clock, and so on. This simple exercise trains your body to move confidently in all directions. By dedicating just 5 to 10 minutes daily to multidirectional movement, you'll be addressing critical aspects of mobility that walking alone simply can't provide. Many of my patients report feeling more confident navigating real-world environments like crowded stores or uneven garden paths after just a few weeks of practicing these movements. Change 2. Add strength training for stability and power. The second essential change is incorporating regular strength training into your routine. After 70, preserving muscle mass becomes absolutely crucial for maintaining independence, protecting joints, and supporting metabolic health. Contrary to popular belief, strength training for seniors doesn't require heavy weights or gym equipment. Effective strength training can be done right in your home using just your body weight, resistance bands, or everyday objects like water bottles. Focus on functional movements that directly translate to daily activities. Chair rises, which involve standing up from a seated position without using your hands, strengthen your legs and core while directly improving a movement you perform multiple times daily. Wall push-ups build upper body strength needed for everything from opening jars to pushing yourself up from bed. What makes strength training particularly valuable is its ability to stimulate muscle growth even at advanced ages. Research has consistently shown that adults in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s can build new muscle tissue with appropriate strength training. This directly counteracts the natural muscle loss that occurs with aging. Start with just 2 15-minute sessions weekly, focusing on major muscle groups, legs, core, back, and arms. Begin with 4 to 6 repetitions of each exercise, gradually working up to 8 to 12 repetitions as your strength improves. The key is to choose a level of resistance that feels challenging by the final repetitions without compromising your form. Pay particular attention to your posterior chain, the muscles along the back of your body including your calves, hamstrings, glutes, and back muscles. These tend to weaken with age and sedentary periods yet are crucial for posture and stability. Simple exercises like gentle bridges, lying on your back and lifting your hips can effectively strengthen these important muscles. Remember that feeling some muscle fatigue during strength training is normal and beneficial, but pain is not. If you experience joint pain during an exercise, modify the movement or consult with a physical therapist for alternatives better suited to your body's needs. By adding consistent strength training to your routine, you'll be addressing the critical issue of muscle loss that walking alone cannot prevent. The improvements in strength translate directly to greater independence, better balance, and reduced joint stress during all activities, including your regular walks. Change 3. Practice deliberate balance training. The third essential change is incorporating specific balance exercises into your routine. Balance is a skill that can be improved at any age, but it requires deliberate practice with the right progression of challenges. Start with static balance exercises like standing on one foot while holding onto a stable surface for support. As this becomes easier, reduce your reliance on support and gradually increase the duration. Even practicing for just 30 seconds a few times daily can yield significant improvements over time. Next, progress to dynamic balance exercises that challenge your stability while moving. Tandem walking, placing one foot directly in front of the other as if walking on a tightrope, is an excellent example. This can be done alongside a counter or wall for safety until your confidence improves. What makes balance training so effective is that it directly targets the specific neural pathways and stabilizing muscles needed to prevent falls. Unlike walking, which becomes largely automatic, balance exercises require conscious attention and engage your brain's coordination centers more intensively. Incorporate sensory challenges as you progress by occasionally closing your eyes briefly during static balance exercises only with secure support nearby or standing on slightly unstable surfaces like a folded towel. These variations help train your body to maintain stability even when visual or surface conditions aren't ideal. For those with more significant balance concerns, working with a physical therapist initially can provide personalized guidance and ensure safety. Many communities also offer senior balance classes that provide both effective training and the benefits of social interaction. The beauty of balance training is its efficiency. Even 5 minutes daily can produce noticeable improvements in stability and confidence. Many of my patients report feeling significantly more secure in their movements after just a few weeks of consistent practice. If you're enjoying this content and finding it helpful, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss our new videos. Your engagement helps us continue providing valuable information to the senior community. Creating your balanced activity plan. Now that we understand the limitations of walking alone and the 3 essential components of a more effective approach, let's discuss how to integrate these elements into a practical weekly routine. The ideal activity plan for adults over 70 includes a balanced mix of cardiovascular exercise like walking, strength training, multi-directional movement, and specific balance practice. This comprehensive approach ensures you're addressing all the physical needs that become increasingly important with age. Here's what a balanced weekly plan might look like. Monday, a 15-minute walk at a comfortable pace, followed by 10 minutes of multi-directional movements and 5 minutes of basic balance exercises. Tuesday, a 15-minute strength training session focusing on major muscle groups, followed by 5 minutes of balance practice. Wednesday, a slightly longer 20-minute walk, perhaps in a location with gentle terrain variations if appropriate for your current ability level. Thursday, repeat your strength training routine, possibly targeting different exercises or muscle groups than Tuesday's session. Friday, another 15-minute walk combined with 10 minutes of multi-directional movement patterns. Saturday, a mix and match day where you combine shorter versions of your favorite activities from the week. Sunday, a rest day with just light stretching and perhaps a very short, leisurely walk if desired. This balanced approach provides adequate recovery time between activities while still maintaining consistency. The entire routine requires just 20 to 30 minutes daily, possibly less time than you're currently spending on longer walks, yet potentially delivering far greater benefits. Remember that consistency trumps intensity, especially after 70. Short, regular sessions distributed throughout the week are far more beneficial than occasional longer workouts that might leave you exhausted or sore. Adapt this framework based on your current fitness level, any health conditions, and personal preferences. If you're currently less active, start with shorter durations and fewer exercises, gradually building as your body adapts and strengthens. For those with chronic health conditions or significant mobility limitations, consulting with a physical therapist can help develop a customized plan that addresses your specific needs while working within your current capabilities. Listening to your body's wisdom. Perhaps the most important skill to develop in your fitness journey after 70 is learning to distinguish between productive challenge and potential harm. Your body possesses incredible wisdom about what it needs, but many of us have been conditioned to ignore subtle signals until they become painful problems. Productive challenge feels like temporary muscle fatigue that resolves quickly, mild breathlessness that returns to normal shortly after resting, or the satisfying sense of having worked your muscles without pain. These sensations indicate you're providing beneficial stimulus without crossing into territory that might cause injury. Warning signals that should prompt modification include sharp or shooting pain rather than general muscle fatigue, dizziness, unusual shortness of breath, or discomfort that persists long after your activity ends. These responses suggest your body may need a different approach, reduced intensity, or possibly medical guidance. Pay particular attention to how you feel the day after activity. Some mild muscle tenderness can be normal, especially when beginning new movements, but pronounced stiffness, pain, or fatigue that interferes with daily activities indicates you may need to adjust your approach. Remember that progress after 70 often occurs more gradually than in earlier decades. Celebrate small improvements in strength, stamina, or balance rather than comparing your performance to rigid external standards or your younger self. Many of my patients find it helpful to maintain a simple activity journal noting how different movements feel both during and after exercise. This practice helps identify patterns and develop greater body awareness over time. What's most important is finding sustainable activities that you genuinely enjoy. The best exercise program is ultimately the one you'll actually do consistently. If certain movements don't feel right for your body despite modifications, explore alternatives that target similar benefits in ways that feel better to you. The ripple effects of balanced activity. The benefits of this balanced approach extend far beyond physical strength and stability. When you engage in varied, appropriate activity, you're supporting virtually every system in your body. Cognitively, the coordination required for multi-directional movement and balance challenges provides valuable stimulation for your brain. Research suggests that these types of complex movement patterns may support cognitive function and potentially reduce dementia risk more effectively than repetitive activities like walking alone. Emotionally, the confidence that comes from improved strength and balance often translates into greater willingness to participate in social activities, travel, and new experiences. Many of my patients report feeling more optimistic about their future and more engaged with life after adopting a more balanced approach to physical activity. Sleep quality frequently improves with appropriate exercise, particularly when it includes strength components. Better sleep further enhances recovery, cognitive function, and emotional well-being, creating a positive cycle of improvement. Metabolically, the preservation of muscle mass through strength training supports better blood sugar regulation, more efficient metabolism, and improved energy levels throughout the day. This can be particularly important for managing or preventing conditions like type 2 diabetes. Even digestive function often improves with a balanced activity approach, as varied movement patterns provide gentle massage-like effects for internal organs and support healthy circulation throughout the digestive system. What's particularly remarkable is how these benefits compound over time. The senior who begins appropriate strength and balance training at 70 often finds themselves more capable at 75 than they were 5 years earlier, a profound reversal of what many consider the inevitable decline of aging. If you've made it this far in the video, I'd love to hear about your experience with walking and other forms of exercise. Has walking alone been giving you the results you hoped for? Are you experiencing any of the challenges we've discussed? Leave a comment below sharing your thoughts or questions. Common questions and concerns. Let me address some questions that frequently arise when I discuss this approach with my patients. Isn't walking safer than strength training after 70? When done appropriately, strength training can actually be extremely safe for seniors. The key is beginning at an appropriate level and progressing gradually. In fact, the strength and balance improvements from resistance training often make all activities, including walking, safer by reducing fall risk. I have arthritis. Won't strength training make it worse? Contrary to common concerns, appropriate strength training can actually help manage arthritis symptoms by strengthening the muscles that support affected joints. The key is using good form, appropriate resistance levels, and modifications when needed. For those with significant arthritis, working initially with a physical therapist can ensure your approach is helpful rather than harmful. Do I need special equipment or a gym membership? Absolutely not. Effective strength training can be done with household items like water bottles, resistance bands, which are inexpensive and widely available, or simply your body weight. Balance training requires no equipment at all, and multi-directional movement can be practiced anywhere you have a small, clear space. How quickly will I see results? Many seniors notice improved energy and movement quality within just 2 to 3 weeks of beginning a balanced activity program. Measurable strength improvements typically appear within 4 to 6 weeks, while significant balance improvements often require 6 to 8 weeks of consistent practice. Remember that these changes are gradual but cumulative. The benefits continue to build over months and years of consistent activity. What if I've never exercised regularly before? It's never too late to begin. In fact, previously inactive seniors often experience the most dramatic improvements when starting an appropriate exercise program. The key is beginning very gradually with simplified versions of exercises and slowly building as your body adapts. Even 5 minutes of appropriate activity several times weekly can initiate positive changes. Putting it all together, let's revisit Margaret, whose story we shared earlier. After discovering that her walking-only routine was creating imbalances rather than preventing them, she adopted a more balanced approach to staying active. She reduced her walking to shorter, more frequent sessions of 15 to 20 minutes, added simple strength exercises twice weekly, and practiced basic balance activities most days. Within just 2 months, the chronic knee pain that had been troubling her diminished significantly. Her energy levels improved, and most importantly, she regained confidence in her stability and movement. 3 years later, Margaret is more active than when she retired. She enjoys gardening without back pain, travels confidently, and recently began taking dance classes, something she wouldn't have considered possible before changing her approach to physical activity. At 79, she's experiencing better mobility and confidence than she had at 73. Margaret's experience reflects what research consistently demonstrates: the human body maintains remarkable adaptability throughout life. Even in our 70s, 80s, and beyond, our bodies respond to appropriate stimulus by becoming stronger, more stable, and more capable. The key is providing the right types of movement challenges rather than simply accumulating steps. Walking certainly has its place in a balanced activity plan, but it's just one component of a truly effective approach to maintaining vitality and independence with age. I encourage you to begin incorporating these principles into your own routine, starting with whatever modifications feel most manageable for your current situation. Even small changes consistently applied can lead to significant improvements in how you feel and function. Remember that moving well is about much more than preventing decline. It's about continually developing your body's capabilities and expanding your possibilities for an active, engaged life. With the right approach, your 70s and beyond can be characterized by capability, confidence, and continued growth rather than limitation. If you found this information helpful, please take a moment to like this video, share it with friends who might benefit, and subscribe to our channel for more evidence-based advice on thriving in your senior years. Your engagement helps us reach more people with this important information. I'd love to hear about your experience in the comments below. Have you noticed any of the challenges we've discussed with your current activity routine? Which of these strategies are you most interested in trying? Your questions and insights help create a valuable resource for our entire community. Thank you for investing time in your health and well-being. Here's to moving better, feeling stronger, and embracing all that life has to offer in the years ahead.